Okay, just begin a little bit. Give it a couple more minutes. Adjust it again. I'll bring it up a little bit. Less of an angle. And just turn it back this way just a little bit more. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Almost about time. It's almost about 5 minutes to 2 Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to go live in about, we're actually already streaming live. And just give it a chance to see if anybody wants to join me or not. Okay, just wait a few more minutes. Well, I guess we're going to get going a couple of minutes early because I got some things I got to do this afternoon. Hi, Emery. Hi, this is Ron. Well, welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Just wanted to talk about a few things today. I just given a couple of people a chance to come into the chat. I haven't done too many. Actually, this is my second or third live I've done. I had set up a live camera shot last week. I wanted to film out the shrimp recipe, and I couldn't figure out how to get the thumbnail onto my phone there to anyways, I finally figured it out, but I'm going to do another shrimp recipe and I'll be filming it out live probably in the next week or two. But I just wanted to give everybody a chance to come in live. So it's just about 2 o'clock. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ron. I live in a city called Leominster, Massachusetts. It's north central Mass. Today is about 65 degrees outside right now. I went for a walk this morning. There's a couple of fires going on in our city right now. One by the Route 2 area down by the Targets, if you're familiar with that area. And one of my friends just texted me. He said, "Ron, we got another fire going on up by the Doyle Field area over by where the new walking trail is." So it's quite active today with the local and adjacent city fire departments trying to put out and contain these fires, and hopefully everybody's okay. So I just wanted to talk a few things about rebooting after a holiday. I gained about 7 or 8 pounds this past couple of weeks. I've been very, very depressed with my feet and not being able to work. I had to give up work for now. And after dealing with a couple of deaths in the family, I lost 2 cousins in the last 3 weeks, and about my age, and life is too short. And then my superintendent that takes care of our complex building, she just lost her husband like this week, and he was only 57 years old and had a heart attack. And I come to realize right now that life is too short to be worrying about working. My wife and I have been together now for well, this coming April 28th will be our 32nd anniversary, but we've been together for 42 years. And I come to realize now that life is too short, and I'm just taking one day as God gives it to me. And I've been dealing with some really rough issues with my feet and my hip, and I went walking this past yesterday. As a matter of fact, I was going to push out 5 miles, and I ended up with three. My left hip actually got kicked out on me about to 2 mile walking. I was limping home, literally in pain all day. And so I called up my doctor yesterday, and I made an appointment for them on the 15th of May. And then soon after that, we're going to get the left hip out in the Worcester area. So that's what we got going on with the left hip. We had the right hip replaced back in June of last year. That's been absolutely terrific. No more pain with that. But it's I can't deal with the pain anymore. And of course, with the 2 deaths in the family, I've been very, very depressed, and I'm just trying to deal with one day as God gives it to me. So what we got going on? So we gained about 10 pounds over the last month. My weight pushed up to 234, I believe 231 231. Actually, no, it was 231. And because I did a scale number this morning. And yesterday I started to reboot my weight loss program by going to what's called a BBBE, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And I did that yesterday. I started writing down everything in my book over here. I got one of these notebooks that I use, and when I'm doing old school keto, I wrote it down April 11th, and I got the starting day one reboot, and I jot down everything that I ate, calculated out all the calories and the macros and carb manager, took a screenshot of that, did a scale photograph this morning with a photograph, and then yet today I did the same thing. So today and yesterday, I'm pretty much spot on in what I needed to eat today and yesterday because I'm trying to keep my carbs down to 20 or less so I could get back into what's called ketosis. When your body's in ketosis, you're burning fat for fuel, and I feel pretty good today. Other than just my hip right now, but yeah. And then my little kitty cat, he's driving me crazy. He's been a little home wrecker because he's playing around. He bit me over here this morning and drew blood on my finger this morning, and I got all kinds of battle wounds going in my arm. So it's got me rethinking, do I even want to keep him now? I don't really know, but I love the little fellow, and I'm having a hard time dealing with him. Yeah, yeah, little brat, exactly. Yeah, Anne Marie. And then I give him all kinds of food. Like yesterday, he was in the back room over here with me. I film out here in the back room because it's quieter for me in the back room, and he gets into too much mischief, and I got wires all over the place because I got computers and I got everything else going on, my printer and all that, and he bites on my wires. I'm afraid I'm going to have a fried pussycat one of these days, like that vacation movie. And so tomorrow we're taking him to the vet. He's due for a second booster shot, and maybe I'm going to talk to the vet about maybe giving him something to slow him down a little bit. But he is a kid, and I do love him, and I don't want to give him up. He's a little ham, but he's also can be a little devil too. But from what I talked to about other people, they're dealing with the same issues when they're young. We got him about 8 weeks old. We got him a little bit of too soon than what he should have had. But I absolutely love the little fellow, and I don't want to give him up. And I'm just going to try to deal with it the best we can. And yeah, I've been giving him that too. I give him catnip and everything else. You should see my living room is covered with all kinds of toys for him to play with. I got up this morning. As soon as I get up and walk to the living room and go to the bathroom, he follows me like a little monkey on a stick. And and he's got toys all over the place. And I bought him some of those fishing toys, and I bought him a tunnel, and bought him a tree post and scratching posts and scratching curly cues that and I realized that the toys that we bought him, the ones that he's been playing with are the ones that we make up. I take a empty roll of toilet paper and I fling it on the floor, and he chases that and he plays with that for hours on end. And when I first got him, but he got stuck in my cabinet. What he did was underneath my kitchen cabinets. I got a little hole there about the size of my mobile phone. And he got into the thing, and he thought he was stuck, and he was there for about maybe 3 hours meowing. I didn't know where he was, and I goes, "How the heck did he get in there?" So when I went on the floor and I reached my hand up, and I goes, "Oh my god, yeah," and I thought I was going to have to call the fire department up that day. So he eventually got out, and then I ended up covering up with a couple of boxes that my mate, this guy came up yesterday, and he covered it up with some wood and tacked it in so that he can't get back into there. But I didn't, because if they would have had to come down and rip out my cabinets, I would have been spending about $4,000 or $5,000 for some new cabinets. So so he just cracked me up. So what we got going on for today, guys? I'm gonna film this out and put it up on later. We're gonna be doing some cloud bread. Now, this particular recipe is a very easy recipe to follow. You take 4 large eggs at room temperature, which we have already have them out. We're gonna separate the egg yolks, and then we're gonna put 2 ounces of cream cheese in with the yolk, Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon, eighth of a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna mix that all together, and that's softened cream cheese. And then what we're gonna do with the egg whites, we're gonna whip that up until it forms really soft peaks, and we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of ta- uh, tartar, a creamy tartar they call it. And then once that gets all formed in together, we'll mix the yolk into the egg white, and then we'll fold it like we're not gonna over mix it, and then we're gonna create on a sheeting pan on a 300-degree oven, preheated. Would drop in some drops onto the sheeting pan on the parchment paper, like we're making pancakes. And from what Joe Duff was saying on his YouTube channel, they make these little round little discs there that come out like bread, and they're wicked good. And that's how we've been very, very, very successful after a bad week of or a bad month for that matter. So what we got going on too, we're gonna make some zucchini bread later. So when I've done my video live, I'm gonna go down to the local store. I gotta get some zucchini and a couple of things that I need. And this the zucchini is pretty easy. And then I'll follow that particular recipe. And then what I'm probably gonna do is film it out like I did a filming live, and just to answer any questions and pop it up that way. But I definitely want to get out and do some more live videos. Oh no, he's not yet. And Marie, she told me I gotta have a cough drop. She told me that I got an appointment with him tomorrow, and tomorrow is his second shot, and then I can't have him do it to 6 months. So that won't be coming into around. Let's see, he was born in January, February, March, April, about around the first part of June. Then I'm going to have him taken care of. We got money put away for all that stuff there, but if you have a pet, it's very expensive, and he's sometimes they eat one day he won't eat it, and the same food, So he's a very finicky cat, and he's got dry stuff and regular stuff that we feed him. And but like I said, I love the little fellow. I don't want to give him up. And see, I'll show you a photograph of him. I have a video of him on the on my timeline on the let's see. Yeah, that's what he looks like. I don't know if you can see that or not. He's a tuxedo cat from what he's all I named him Oreo because he's got white all on the bottom, and he's got white paws, and he's got a little bit of white under his chin, and the rest of him is solid black. But he's absolutely adorable. And yesterday, I had him in my room for almost 4 hours, lying down next to me when I was resting out my hip, and he was purring the whole time, and he was happy. But he gets into a lot of mischief because he's a kid. So I just got to be patient with him, and I hope tomorrow's every day is one day closer to he getting a little older, getting a little better. Tomorrow, I'm hoping one day this tomorrow will be better than today. Now, I didn't have a too bad of a day today. One of my Facebook friends got a hold of me yesterday and said, "Ryan, I like to meet you because you put up a lot of good positive quotes on your Facebook support group and my regular my Facebook page rather." And ever since the early days of the shutdown, I went out and did a lot of walking, and I decided to do something about my weight. Now, for those of you who might not know who I am, I'm Ron. I live in Leominster, Massachusetts, and I started my weight loss journey on August 17th of 2020. I weighed 325 pounds at the time. I made one of the most important decisions of my life. I went on a weight loss journey. So instead of staying home and becoming a couch potato like a lot of people did, I decided to take my own journey in my own hands and get healthy. Got permission from my doctor. She was on board with the ketogenic lifestyle. And we're documenting my journey through videos and through Word doc because I think someday I might want to write a book about myself, but about that. And people don't know who else I am. I do a lot of volunteer for the city. I'm slowing that up a little bit because I kind of don't want to do it no more. But I've been doing a lot of volunteer since 2012. I film a lot of local events, take photography, and all that sort of thing. I got a concert coming up on April 30th. I was asked to film that at the City Hall. I'm going to film that on a Sunday. That's a spring concert they have, and by the Monitors of Corral. And then we have 5 concerts coming up starting July 11th with the Colonial Band. And then they finish 2 concerts off in the Christmas for Christmas around Christmas time. And I'll film all that, but that's all I want to film this year. I don't want to film anything else as far as that goes because it's just too much work for me, and I don't get paid for it, and I'm just getting tired of it. And I want to enjoy myself, and I also give my time to the parish on Friday nights. I'm a born again Christian, and I go to local parish, St. C's Parish, on Sundays, and I also volunteer at the bingo organization on Friday. What I do is I sell pool tabs, and I help out in any way I can help out. And sometimes I'll play, but most of the time I volunteer. My wife plays. Sometimes she wins, sometimes she doesn't. But it doesn't make any difference. Just for us, it's just something that her and I did throughout the years. And with the shutdown being back in 2020, we couldn't do anything. I was so happy to see it start up again. I goes, I'm going to start volunteering over here. So I volunteer, and that's how I get my time back to the community, and I'm never going to give that part of it up. But I just enjoy helping people. Now, this past week, Friday, I got a call from one of the other parishes. She asked me if I could come down and take some photographs for Easter Sunday because they had something special going on over there. But I can't be in two places at the same time. So, my heart is with the parish that I grew up at when I was a kid. And yeah, hi, Tameka. Tamika Davis. Okay. Yeah, so just talking about different things, how to reboot your system after have a bad week on weight gain. The other thing I got planning to go on is I want to make I'm going to be doing a egg fast probably. Let's see, tomorrow is Thursday, and probably Friday I'm gonna do some egg fasting. Egg fasting is really, really simple. It's just eggs, butter, and cheese. You can eat up to 6 to 8 eggs a day, depending on what your macros tell you that what you can eat. And you put a slab of butter. You can want one healthy fat. It doesn't necessarily have to be butter. It could be an avocado or something like that. And I've done all of that stuff before in the past, and they've been very, very successful. And then the regular beef and butter fast where you can have beef and you have butter. It sounds gross, but it really, really isn't. I love beef. I can eat beef all day long. What kills me more than anything, like this past week, Sunday for Easter, my wife and I went out to a local restaurant called El Camino, and it's an Italian restaurant. I got yaki and meatball. That's what I wanted because I hadn't had that in ages. But yeah, if you know what yakis are, they sit in your stomach like a you think you're going to eat a lot of them, and next thing you know, you've eaten about 20 of them, and next thing you know, you got a full stomach, and you feel like you're overeating on Thanksgiving, and all that pasta and the Italian bread. Yeah, it was good, but it causes me to have weight gain, and that's what happens when I get depressed with everything that goes on with my life, and I'm trying to keep it, really good spirit about everything, and try to stay the course and be patient when everything. Like I'm trying to be patient with the cat, and so I just yeah, and the beef and butter fast, that's just simple. Like I said, I do that 3 or 4 times a week rather, and then once my body starts getting into the ketosis, then I go back to normal keto foods, and I make a lot of low carb meals. And if I keep my carb count to 20 or less, then I'm pretty much really, really good with it, and that's how I've been successful to lose weight and go walking. Now I joined the gym back in 2020, and I was with them for almost 2 years. The gym that I belonged to shut down. Somebody bought the building, but I can go to a gym right across the street. But I just go walking. I love walking. When I'm walking, I put on my Spotify playlist, and I have a motivational playlist, and I go out to the open field and I start taking photography and photographs of our buildings, and because I'm getting ready to write a book about the our city, and I like to put up past the present books of past the present photographs of photographs from the city, what they look like back in the early 1900s, and as late as the 1890s, when photography first started becoming available. We have photographs going back, and it's fun looking and doing comparisons and write a little brief history under the photograph, and all that stuff keeps me pretty active and pretty busy along with the volunteering that I do. But I just wanted to do a quick little video just to let you not guys know what's going on. And I really love your YouTube channel, Anne Marie, how you've been able to structure it and come on live and do the live videos. I'd love to do a live video in my front room over here, but the problem is the cat would probably jump on the counter right in the middle of the line and start sampling my food. And that this morning, actually this afternoon, I go home. The little monkey was on the table there, hacking away at the napkins on the table. So I kicked him off the table. I sprayed him with a little bit of water there, nothing too negative about it. And then he gets into all kinds of mischief. He's funny as anything, he's like a little Walmart greeter. I'll come home and he'll flop himself on the floor, spin over, and let a huge meow like he's happy to see me, my wife Donna, and myself. And but, and that's why I don't wanna give him up because I know eventually he's gonna settle down, but it's just in the meantime, I'm probably gonna have to start getting an arm of soup there to play with him because he's clawing on everything. He's got fish hooks like you can't possibly imagine. So tomorrow when I bring him to the vet, I'm gonna have him trim out the paws again, And then I'm going to start making a regular appointment after that every 4 weeks for the one that does the grooming over there to keep his nails down. So he when I'm afraid of more lists and everything, like my wife's got really beautiful skin for her age, and I swear she looks like she's in her 40s. And I don't want him taking his claws and reaching up and scratching her and pulling my. That wouldn't be good. And he's tried to do that with me a couple of times, but I'm just trying to deal with it right now until he settles down. I'll probably put up a couple more videos of him. I have some ready to go up. I just haven't had a chance to put them up yet. I use a program called Adobe Premiere. I have the Creative Cloud program where it allows me to do After Effects, Photoshop, Lightroom, and Adobe Premiere. And then I have it has a lot of other different applications that came with the program. It costs me about $50 a month for that particular program, and I really love it. I learned everything on my own, but I did go to school for some of that. But that was back in the '90s. I got a degree in graphics and web design, by the way, but I never really applied it to any job because I come to find out that most people that have a degree in those type of fields, companies won't hire you unless you have a lot of experience and you already done that work before. And I found out that a lot of people that know how to do all this stuff, they do freelance, and that's how they get paid. But my goal was when I started my YouTube channel was just to get out there, inspire one or two people, and and if I can do that, then I know God helped me to complete my mission on the planet. And I've done a lot more than that. I inspired a lot of people, and they all seem to like what I put up every morning. And and I've been really positive about everything. It's just right. I've been in kind of like a little bit of a depression the last couple of weeks, but when I go out walking in the open field there area, and then I focus in on what the goal is to get healthy and to get rid of all the negativity out of me. And you know, I'm usually most of the time I'm a happy-go-lucky person, but I just wanted to go talk a little bit about that. I'm going to go to the store. My wife's going to go on to Facebook. She plays her favorite games. She thinks she's watching her favorite soap opera, General Hospital, right now, and I'm going to film out the recipe for the cloud bread. I'll put that up later. Give you my take on that. I never had the cloud bread before, by the way. And I'm gonna be doing that zucchini bread. Looks really, really pretty interesting to try. I never had that before either, so that'll be two firsts for me, having the zucchini bread and the cloud bread. Now, the problem with the ketogenic diet or lifestyle, I like to call it a lifestyle because diet reminds me of being too restricted of food. Um, bread is a no-no, and I grew up on bread. My mom made fresh bread in the morning. And when I used to sleep upstairs in the bedroom, and she made her own butter, by the way, too. So when you're uh, at home with your mom cooking, nobody could top your mom's cooking. The only one that could top your mom's cooking was your grandmother, and my grandmother was really the best there was. She used to make these loaves of bread like that, and you could smell it from upstairs in the bedroom. I'd come down in the morning and demolish a whole loaf of bread with butter and the homemade butter with a cup of tea. And then she used to make my stepfather these humongous dinner rolls like that. And he goes, "Oh my gosh." And so I miss those, but I got her original recipe, but they call for King Arthur flour and some other stuff. And I should try to duplicate it, but make it for low carb and see what would happen with that. But how I get a lot of my inspiration in my cooking videos, I go on to like uh, Drives Diners and Drives there with Guy Fieri, Rachel Ray, Robert Irvine, all those great chefs, and even when they did the show The Chew and all that, I go back and I watch a lot of recipes to spawn ideas in my head. Well, how can I convert some of this to low carb weight loss so it doesn't blow out your weight? And that's how I've been very, very successful. I have like over 400 and now I got 20 videos posted. And I found a lot of older videos that I've been going through that I never even put up for some reason or other. Maybe I didn't, at the time when I filmed them, I didn't feel comfortable about putting them up. So I want to see if I want to use some of those again and just write them a new title for it and see what happens with there. But anyways, enough said. I'm going to get going. You guys have an amazing day. Thank you guys for joining my live. Let me know if you want me to do like a live cooking show or something, because I could prep everything in the back room and just move the operation over to the front room. I won't cook in the back room because if I had a fire in here, how am I going to explain that to the office? You know, Yeah, so I just do the best I can, and, I often said after everything turns around in the economy, at some point it will. When something comes in, when we all get some financing, not financing, but a money situation when it's supposed to be all reversed, I'd like to get my own studio where I can do like a QVC type atmosphere where I can just set up a whole kitchen in a soundproof room and do cooking from that. And eventually, I'm thinking about, even though I'm at 66 years old right now, I'll be 67 in August. I'm hoping to get a restaurant, and I want to do a restaurant for all low carb cooking, weight loss, and that sort of thing. Healthy cooking is basically, and because we haven't got anything like that in our city, everything's all fast foods and it's some restaurants. But I go like this morning, I went into a local coffee shop. Hi, Bubbles. I had my coffee this morning, and they got all junk in there. Really, I mean, there's nothing in there that's healthy. I go in there every about 2 or 3 times a week to get a coffee on my flyby, and I asked Dean. I goes, "Man, what are you guys cooking over here? Everything smells so good, you know." And so, but when I treat myself to a little treat, it causes me to it triggers me to make bad choices, and that's what happens. And then I start getting depressed, and then I start gaining weight. Of course, with the 2 deaths we had in our family, the 2 cousins that yeah, my cousin Billy died of cancer and the other one died of cancer, like, they're almost 2 weeks apart from each other, you know, I find out secondhand. This is what pisses me off. I'm always finding out about deaths secondhand in the family. I never nobody called me up and said, "Ron, I'm sorry, you know, what we just lost a cousin," and, you know, so I hate it when they post it on social media instead of just calling up or privately text messaging somebody and saying, okay, your relative passed away, and because they knew how close I was, and I knew he didn't have much time left, and he knew he cherished each day that he had while he was living. But in the meantime, it just kind of like ticked me off a little bit, and but you know, we haven't even had a service for him yet because he lived in Tennessee, and I live in Massachusetts, and all his relatives up here in Mass. So they're planning on having something at the end of the month, at the beginning of next month. So, and it'll be good to see all the relatives together again. But it's just unfortunate. It seems like all the relatives come in when we have a death in the family. The last time we had a death in the family, all the relatives came down again. Well, why can't we just have a regular plain old reunion without a death in the family and have a happy reunion? I don't know if that happens to you guys and your families, but that happens to us and our families. And yeah, so I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna get going. You guys have an amazing day. I hope I sounded okay. And let me know what you want me to make. If you got any ideas for me for recipes, I'm always looking for recipes. And if you live locally, I'm always looking for a walking buddy. And have an amazing day. Love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Love you guys.